let's go. And my guess. So, is it Mr. Square or is it Mr. Pillow or is it Mr. Games?
Let's just go with Square Pillow.
Square Pillow. Okay.
Yeah, we can do that for today.
We can do that for today. Okay. I just want to be sure because I don't want to screw up your name. You got the invisible Dr. Claw thing going, so you might you might just put the wrath of what on me. So I just figured one of those just be cool with stuff. But anyway, how are you tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a pretty disastrous last night as I am finishing up the final build to Deity Souls Plus or Deity Souls Plus, however person wants to say that name. And I found a huge bug. And so I had to put that back together and then repackage all the files and then send them back to VoxPop and let them know that, hey, don't upload that old file because something's broken.
Yeah. Sounds like it's like proofing for a novel almost. Like I'm proofing my book. I like literally after tomorrow. That's all I'm doing on Friday is just proofing my book, and it's like, oh, what things will I find wrong at the very end of this? Oh shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I understand you 100%.
Yeah, I know. It's such a. I mean, you create something, you hope to do the best you can, and then it's like you do it, and something, and you know what? Usually the worst part is it's obvious. Like you look at it in hindsight, you're like, oh god, why didn't I miss this?
Yeah, yeah. I can relate to that. My very first trailer, the very first trailer I made for Deity Souls Plus and uploaded to YouTube, my crown and glory has spelling mistakes galore, and it just hurts me so much.
It kind of reminds me like there's this one commercial way back when I was a kid. So it was a long time ago. I'm old and shit. So when I was when I was a kid,
That's all right. That's all right.
yeah, don't
You can
hold it.
be old. I'll be old. We can all be old.
We can all be old. That's true. That's true. So I remember this. It's one of my favorite commercials actually because it's a guy painting up a football field, right? And putting the name of the team on the field where they like in that white paint or white chalk they use for the grass. And the guy's done. It's like, hi, nice job. Who are the chefs? Chefs. He looks. Oh God. It's like great, googly moogly. It's done. Like, why did I miss that? But it's human nature. We always tend to miss. We never get it fully right ever.
No, that's right. And it's always like the little details. You know, it's like
Oh
these.
yeah, no, it happens all the time. Like I'm amazed at like how we get things done at all. Sometimes just the little things we miss. But it's such a fun like little niche twist, whatever. And it's just like it's part of the fun, I guess. Like creativity, you're never going to get it all right. That's part of the fun, I think.
Yeah, it's like a good experience with lots of learning curves and curve balls.
That's right. So I guess we should ask about weird curveballs here for a sec. So actually, I should ask this: like, when did you? Pardon me. When
It's
did
all
you
right.
decide that you said, "I'm going to create a video game that's going to be awesome and made of cheese"? Like, what was that moment for you?
Literally when I was like playing Mega Man on the Nintendo, because that's what everybody dreams about when they're playing their very first video game, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but seriously, it was last year, about November. Me and a buddy of mine, we were on Discord talking about games. We were playing some games. I was watching him play, and we just started talking about like different game ideas. Like, how come nobody's done this? Like, why aren't games different from when we were little? Like when I was little, adult games were blood and gore, and that was it. And so we were talking. We're like, how come adult games haven't really advanced? Sorry about that timer. If you could hear that in the background.
I heard it. It's all good.
Uh,
I just consider it part of life, dude. Don't worry about it.
all right. Uh, And so we were talking, and I got hit with COVID. Like I don't like not the virus itself, just the predicament of the COVID lives we live now. So I had some time to think and go back to my old creative ways, which I don't get to experience much anymore. And so me and my buddy were talking, and we were going to do a partnership thing. He kind of backed out, but he was still around, for support. And I just I just jumped in the pool, like head first. That's pretty much it.
That's the best way to learn sometimes,
Yeah.
like it's a quick learning curve. I imagine video games, like I write books, they are complex enough. I can only imagine what it like. In one sense, I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous of video gaming for this reason. You have a whole dimension of language that books don't have, and that is interaction.
Yeah.
And I like that's the best. Like, if you were to tell me which of all the mediums has the biggest potential future, it's video games to me, hands down. Because as much as I love books, I'm a book guy. I'm a comic book nerd. I'm all those things. I do like me some stuff. I'm an old school gamer, so my games of choice right now. I'm playing Chrono Trigger because I
awesome.
Yeah, who doesn't hate who hates Chrono Trigger?
Not I, but I also have not. I also haven't finished it, so
it's an old game, right? It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But God, that game sucks you in fast. I actually played it like the retro again. That's my retro game. My more modern game, I'm a Tales guy. Like I love the Tales games.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. I love corny ass skits while I'm kicking ass. It's just that is my jam. It's totally my jam. That doesn't mean I don't like a good puzzler. I don't mind like my card game stuff of choice is Shadowverse. But are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. I just like your screen just like faded.
Yeah, I live way up north in Canada, and so internet is kind of.
Oh, where? Dude, I'm in Canada too. I'm in
northern Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I checked out a couple of your podcasts just to try and get myself ready for this experience. And yeah, I was like, oh snap, he's from Canada. That's awesome.
Yeah, just no, I'm a Canadian dude. I mean, I'm a Canadian and an American. I'm dual.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I know. So I like, and I'm very much just me. I'm. It's gonna be an interesting few years, I think, with the weird COVID world we live in right now. But that all said, no, dude, like it's great. Like I've let myself just be exposed to so many different people from all over the world.
Yeah.
I had a guest from India. Again, I love talking to it's cool to talk to fellow Canadians about shit because it's fun because you'll get all my terrible jokes, all of them.
I just want to hear some A's and maple syrups and maybe the occasional hockey terminology.
So northern Saskatchewan, like whereabouts, like Moose Jaw, or even far like Saskatoon?
No, I'm way up north, like next to. I'm up north. I'm close to the northwest. I'm about, I don't know, 300, but probably about 5-6 hours from the Northwest Territories border.
Oh, geez, that is up
and an hour away from the Manitoba border. I'm way up there.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to talk about your weather. Like your weather.
I'm in a really small community.
Yeah, which has its advantages, especially in a time like this. It actually kind of has its advantages, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, you don't have to get caught up in a lot of the bullshit. A lot of us.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Big, like when I go to the city, it feels a lot different. Like
weird. Like
it feels almost like it's like cut off from the rest of the world now.
Well, it's okay. I have a slightly different point of view than most Canadians about what's going on right now. But I don't know if you listen, how many of my podcasts have you listened to? I've talked about it a few times.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on a few of your points.
Yeah. Now, obviously, again, I am certainly not infallible because I'm sure there are things you disagree with too, and that's totally fine. The way I look at it is I don't really care. Let's have a beer. I don't give a rat's ass, right?
Sure.
Um, but um, but the thing about it is like, okay, so I lived in Ontario for about 2 years. So I got to go through the you can't buy underwear in a local store phase there, which is just
That
wild.
is, yeah, Ontario is right nuts with this COVID thing.
Oh, even Alberta's kind of nuts right now, dude. Like
Alberta went there too. Yeah, they went
yeah, no, Alberta's gone totally. The only advantage is like I'm in the mountains. If things get really
Oh,
bad, I
cool.
can bail. Like I can just
Yeah,
bail, right?
yeah.
But it's really like it's one of those things where you just look around and you can see it. Like we are in this weird. I kind of feel like we're still in the PTSD phase of this,
I
right?
absolutely agree.
Yeah, yeah, we're in the PTSD phase. Like the truth, like
People look scared.
well, yeah, of course they are. They've been tormented by nothing but fear. Like my own take is like everything we're doing is on the basis of fear, and it's going to amplify it for an extended period of time. But eventually, fear is going to die. It's just going to because there is a certain point where you can't get scared no more, and everybody hits that limit wherever that limit is. In my particular case, I've faced my own mortality. I've been infected with scary, weird shit. There's not. I've accepted that life is filled with risks, so it's
Yes.
so I kind of don't have the same fear base built in me. I'm never going to be scared that way. It's not in my DNA. I realize that other people have a different perspective, and some of it and but different certain people, I can see it. Like I can see the justification for it. Some people, I want to know what drugs they're on. I'm not sure if I want to take them
Like,
or not. Like just know those drugs, not to touch them ever. I'm not sure which way to go on that. I think it's more never touch those drugs, but it's there's a PTSD thing. I think the reality is most of us have never like that moment of one day I'm going to die, and one day and tomorrow it can all be taken away like with a snap of the fingers.
no, not me. See, I'm gonna collect a phoenix plume from my video game, and that brings me back to life. So I'm
Okay,
covered.
there's a point. There's a point though in life, though, man. I don't know if I want to. There's a certain point I may not want to come back. You know what I mean? Like I have the like
Oh,
I'm okay with it. There's going to come a day I'm not going to be around anymore. I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with it. I actually even think it's the way it should be. Now I don't want it to be anytime soon, but
yeah.
but
Well, no, we got this talk to do still.
yeah, we got this talk to do still. But I mean that's like yeah, like I sincerely hope that next year. I think by the end of next year, I think some of the PTSD is going to wear off, and I think it's going to wear thin. But we'll see. We'll see. That's my hope.
Yeah, well, if this COVID scenario keeps replaying every year, then yeah, I kind of want off this ride.
Well,
It's
no, it's just
it's not
there's
fun anymore.
well, it's not even that. Like let's be real. Again, there just comes a natural point. Like you have to look at what is going on, and you gotta make a decision how you're going to live the rest of your life. That's it. Like it's not. It's there's nothing more than that, right? Whether you agree with me or not, there's going to come a point like COVID is here to stay. As a disease, as a virus, it's here. It's a coronavirus.
It's true.
You know, you can look up all your own research, come to your own conclusions of how dangerous it is to you. I am not going to argue with you about that. It is what it is for you.
Well, yeah, everybody's got their own ideals about what's
Yeah, yeah,
happening with
absolutely,
this.
absolutely. So I'm not going to argue that point. What I am going to say though is, no matter what conclusion you come to, here's the other conclusion you're going to have to come to. At some point, right? At some point, you're going to have to um, you're going to have to decide how you want to live the rest of your life.
I see, and that's what I did last year. I was like, you know what? COVID is a real thing. COVID is happening. I ain't working. I got to do something. Let's make a video game.
So I'm gonna going back on topic here because it's not, I don't think either of us really wants to do COVID therapy for an hour. Let's ask this. Like, did you have any prior like coding experience prior to last year?
Like, I took some information processing in high school and some computer science, and that's pretty much it. Been interested in computers since like Windows 95 and the whole
Oh,
DOS era and all that. I'm an
oh,
oldie.
But no. Windows 95. Okay, so I still prefer 95 to Windows 98. That was Windows 98 was such a piece of shit. Holy fuck. But
I got no comment from that era. No comment.
yeah, no, just
It looks prettier. Everything was getting a lot prettier. Let's just say that.
it got better. Not that version, but it got better.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, it's like I remember those days, and it's like Windows 95 was a sweet little system. I remember that. But you did that, and then so last year you basically said, "What the hell do I do?" So what did you do? Like, well, how'd you get started?
So like I said, me and a buddy, we were just talking shit about games and the games nowadays that we're playing and what we're interested in, what kind of games we're not able to play. And I grew up playing Mega Man, hardcore Mega Man fan right here. Like Mega Man 1 all the way to Mega Man X4. I can wrap those games no problem any day of the week. I still play Mega Man X4 and I used to play the Mega Man Legacy collection on my GameCube.
That's sweet. No, I was just about to ask, what did you prefer, the original Mega Man or X? I liked X a little bit more, but I can respect anyone who likes Mega Man.
Mega Man 7 for the non-10 titles, the X not X titles, just because bass and treble, those were my enemies that are just the dopest villains ever. And and then for the X series, definitely X4. You know, you got Zero playable character. You got his love interest, Iris. You got the whole Colonel sister brother love interest triangle thing going on. You got Mega Man X with his extremely off-putting voice, but it makes it good. Like the bad voice acting is what makes it so good.
Mega Man's just a fun series, man. It's like one of those basic series. You're what are the classics? There's Mega Man, there's Metroid, there's Mario.
You got
Oh,
Zelda.
3M's right there.
Yeah, something about those letters.
Yeah,
I should have jumped on that bandwagon. What was I thinking?
you just didn't have a cool M phrase. So it's like, no, I'm going to declare my new territory.
Yeah, I'm dropping the D.
Drop the D. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like Mega Man was your inspiration for this.
I would say, yeah. Basically, that old feeling of jumping into a game. It's a small amount of story to get you started. Like at the beginning of my game, there's like about a 5-minute story that kind of sets you up, and then you're thrown into the world. You get a little bit of tutorial time, and then it's just have at it. You can go here, you can go there. So it's a little bit of Zelda, a little bit of Metroid, Castlevania, Metroidvania style. You got to go find your spells. You might go into a world and it's completely out of your league, and so you can leave that world or you can keep struggling and trying to push forward. There's a lot of player choice. So that's something that I grabbed from newer games. From modern titles give so much player choice compared to the older titles.
For the most part. I although I gotta admit, I did love the thing about the old Mega Man games. You could choose the boss you could take on first.
Yeah. So some of my inspiration came from that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which boss do you want to take on? Bubble Man. Let's bring on Mr. Bubbles.
Yeah. Hopefully you got the weakness.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't, well, you can still win, but it's hard.
That's right. You still have a chance, and I integrated that into my game as well. There's one deity boss, and she is extremely weak to one spell, but you kind of have to go out of your way in another world to go find that spell. But if you don't have it, you can still defeat her. It's just going to take a lot longer.
Oh, basically, she's like, I'm the tough fight,
Unless, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. Like my favorite like side scrolling game was Double Dragon. Like,
oh yeah.
So I would fight.
Bimmy.
What?
Bimmy.
Yeah.
But like they the spell checking on that game was not the greatest at the time.
No, it's not. No, it's
I
terrible.
think it's supposed to be Billy, but it was Bimmy.
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
it depends on what like how late down the line of cartridges. Like some of the later cartridges, they fix some of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
I think they fixed it out over time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes the originals have a certain charm. Like I love me some Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I'm not as crazy about Punch Out. No respect to Mr. Dream, but you want to fight Mike Tyson.
I probably played it maybe like a handful of times, and I never beat it. Never got very
Oh,
far.
it was a stupidly hard game, and now I can still Mike Tyson kicks my ass now. I'm not that good anymore. He ate you. He ate you in the old. If you weren't good, he ate you in the old game.
Yeah.
He
Well, that
ate
makes
you.
sense though.
Oh yeah, no. Like the one of the most dickish things you can do to your friends is you put in the code to fight Tyson right away, and just watch a friend get.
I didn't even know about that code.
Yeah, so the code is 007-373-5963. So remember, see the brain damage of
wow, that is in your head.
It's totally in my head. Right? I played the game a lot. Like trying to beat that game took me a long time. It's one of the first games to beat.
Awesome.
And yeah. Mr. Sandman. Oh god. It was so fucking hard. So in the later, like in the new version, Sandman, and they switched Sandman and Super Macho Man. Super Macho Man is still the second last boss, but instead of Tyson, it's Mr. Sandman. Because Sandman was harder than Super Macho Man, even in the original game.
Yeah, like shit, I don't even know.
That's all good. No, like, we all have our old games of love. Like for you was Mega Man. Like I wasn't as I respect Mega Man players. Don't get me wrong, but obviously like we went different ways in our gaming. But the thing was.
Yeah, but
right?
Mortal Kombat kept us together.
That's right. That's right. Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat, not like if I must choose between them.
Second one.
Yeah, I'm a Street Fighter guy. When like Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Right. Is Street Fighter's better. Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat 2 is a lot. Like I still think Street Fighter is a better game overall, but Mortal Kombat had so much flash, sizzle. And it was fun. Like it was a very fun game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the whole semantics of like fighter specials and this is how many frames Street Fighter has per hit and everything. But I just think Mortal Kombat's just more fun.
Oh, you know what? I can respect that.
Street Fighter.
I totally respect that argument. Like I do. Like it's one of those. I was championship good at Street Fighter.
Nice.
I was adequate at Mortal Kombat. Like I could still fight, but there were some dudes, man. They just knew their shit. Like you know.
I just like doing special moves.
Oh yeah, no. Mortal Kombat special moves were way better than Street Fighters. I'm not even gonna deny that. Like,
yeah.
I just in terms of an overall game, like in terms of like strategy and fighting, Street Fighter was a little more in depth. But you just wanted fun. You just wanted to smash your buddies and send them to like the acid pool, the pit.
It's right.
Or do a fatality. Like my favorite is still Scorpion. Scorpion's still like classic.
When he pulls the mask off and does the flame to the ground.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's totally cool.
I still remember when I was little, Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and a buddy of mine, like a friend of mine back in the old days, like grade 4, grade 5, he came running across the street with like this bundle of papers, and he printed off all the fatalities and babalities and friendships and everything, and we literally sat in my parents' basement, and we did every character's all their finishing moves. Greatest time.
Yeah, although I will be fair, I did prefer Johnny Cage's friendship to his fatality.
Was that when he takes the picture?
Yeah, he takes the picture and signs the autograph.
Yeah, yeah.
I just thought that was douchier.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. That's a gooder.
Well, like because I mean he's also the only guy to so like my favorite tactic there was to do the family stones, and when the guy's just like finish him.
Yeah.
But you know, not only did you just take away his like his breath and his will to live. Now you took a picture of you to remember this guy.
You're taking away his dignity at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I'm that kind of asshole.
Kick them when they're down.
Well, no, not kick them when they're down. Ease them to oblivion, and then give them a picture to remember you.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did
It's
the same
it's
thing in
it's
Griffin, so.
after you kick him down, you lift him up, and then just the insult of being able to lift him back up.
That's right. That's right. I mean, his fatalities were okay, but I mean, Johnny Cage to me was he was such a douchey character. At least naturally, he's a douchebag.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love in the later games they openly acknowledge it and just go.
yeah, yeah. They actually go like full like celebrity of him.
Well, like I said, when you see John, like my last Mortal Kombat game, which I think is amazing, by the way, it's an incredible game. It was like Johnny was like young Johnny Cage is a douche.
Yeah, I see. I haven't played the newest one. The last one I played, I think, was at Mortal Kombat 9 when they first went to the X-ray moves and all that.
Oh no, that's still pretty. Okay, they actually made Shao Kahn hard. I actually
Yeah.
they
Oh
dug
yeah, and you couldn't cheap him out with jump kicks.
no, like, whereas in the old game, that's how you beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? In this game, you gotta work at it. Like
oh yeah,
oh my god,
I literally broke a. Okay, you go and then I'll get excited.
Yeah, he literally broke me. The first time I fought him, it's like I'll keep him away at fireballs. That was quick. I lost in like 10 seconds. Like I'm not doing
that. Hey, you're probably just like wondering, like, wow, that was quick, because I know I was.
Yeah, no, it was. I actually was like, oh, they actually made him hard. Holy shit! So it took a while.
Yeah.
This is what I ended up doing because you're Raiden in the last fight. Teleport, uppercut. Teleport, uppercut.
Oh, nice cheese you got there.
Well, no, there's nothing else that works. That works for you at the time, right? You just try to and when it doesn't, and when you fail the pattern, you get the hell out of there as quickly as you can because when he hits you,
yeah,
oh, my meter, it says 0.
Yeah. You have to do a double take. You gotta look twice and wonder, like, where did my HP bar go?
Yeah, no, that's totally what happened. Like oh geez, he worked like I like it when bosses like final bosses are actually hard because I want to feel like I did something. Like I did when I beat them. That if I were to knock MK2 for any one thing and MK3 for any one thing, he was a plus. He was
jump kick easy mode.
Yeah. Just or even okay, Mortal Kombat 3 was almost not fair. Like Sub-Zero was busted in that game. Like, totally busted.
That was the Ultimate MK3?
Oh no, Ultimate they made him a little less busted.
Okay, see, I missed regular MK3 because they took out Scorpion, I think, and some other characters.
They took Scorpion out. Sub-Zero and Cabal were the best two characters in MK3.
Damn.
And then the third choice was Cyrax.
Cyrax is awesome.
Oh, no one hates Cyrax. Like no one hates. But
I was never a fan of Sector for some reason.
He's kind of lame. Like he doesn't like the cool thing about Cyrax is he had a good. He was balanced. He got a net. He was decent up close, but he actually had the ability to do a good long game too. Like he was really well balanced. He was well thought of. I never thought he was broken. Cabal, I thought was a little broken. Sub-Zero was definitely busted. Like,
jeez, I missed out.
Well, because in the first game, the first version, you could do like a 100% combo with Sub-Zero if you did it right.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he was disgusting.
Almost an infinite then, eh?
What?
Almost an infinite?
Yeah, well, just about. Like the frame rate, one of his ice slide was infinite, was I think it was an ice slide. You could juggle the freezes.
Oh wow.
In the first one. They eliminated that in the second, like in Ultimate. They knocked the frame rate, like they extended it so it wouldn't fucking happen.
Oh, okay.
But the first, again, you were talking about like bugs earlier. That was like the first time in the arcade. I remember playing this in the arcade. I played a Sub-Zero dude. I moved once. I got caught. I was dead.
And there goes your quarters.
Yeah, it was like no. Like you know how it was in the arcade. They were sharks there, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I used to be a little shark. when on MK2, right? Because I was just this little punk kid, got my little stack of $5 of quarters, right, pumping them in, and like I would try my hardest on Mortal Kombat. But I would, I'd defeat a few of the teenagers that were lurking, but eventually I'd get stomped out, and I gotta wait my turn.
Oh yeah. So, Street Fighter, Street Fighter. I was good up until Marvel versus Capcom, the first one. Not the second one. Second one, when I stopped really doing fighting games on a regular basis. But for the
Yeah.
first one, I got to the point that I was smashing people without combos. My team was Ryu and the Hulk, and I would just smash. They left me alone. After a while, the sharks would not touch me. They would just let me play my game.
Some immunity.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you just get so good that no one wants to fight you.
They just wait for you to get tired, and then they go pump a quarter in,
or
or a
just let me play
token.
my game. Like that. Like there's a point. Sometimes you get like when you play fighters and when you're really good, you know that like you'll play against somebody at your skill level.
Yeah,
That's so much fun. But what
it
happens
is. Yeah.
when you get so good, it's hard to find that challenge.
Yeah, you start becoming too good.
Yeah. So the games I was too good at were that one,
Yeah.
Tekken 4. I know I got really good with Violet. I was really good with him, and they no one. There was a point in the game no one bothered me. I got so good at that. It was just like sometimes every once in a while someone would want to spar with me, but they left me alone after a while because I just knew what the hell I was doing. I was a vicious little shit.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Marvel vs. Capcom was all about Berserker Barrage. That and the
it was sweet, man.
that and Maximum Spider or whatever he says.
Oh, Spider-Man was so good.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, I'll let that play out. But no, man, like just having that ability to play really fun fighters. Like we're talking about fighters here. Like like the arcade era was a sweet time. Like I miss it on one hand. On the other, it's like, its time has come and gone. But we still got the online communities, right? So we can play these games against each other.
Yeah, there was that moment where there was a loss, right? When arcades were phasing out and there really wasn't a strong online element. But now the online gaming is pretty much, it's getting closer and closer to like 1-to-1 with the latency and everything.
The only thing I miss from the old arcades, you just can't do it on a digital realm is pinball.
The pinball?
Yeah, the old pinball game. You know the old pinball machines?
Yeah.
I miss those. Like those.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of spaced out there. I'm like, pinball? What?
Yeah, it's like no. Like when you go to arcade, like there's nothing that feels quite like a pinball machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like digital pinball is kind of fun for like the first 10 minutes, and then you're like, well, it's always kind of hitting the same pattern.
Yeah, you just can't. Now, in real life, it's that feeling of hitting the ball with the flippers. You just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't replace that.
That tactile feel.
Yeah, like that's a tactile game. There's no way to replace. Like you can't replace that.
Yeah.
But I would kill for a good pinball machine right now. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's probably restos being done, like restorations on some old games.
And we're out, dude. You know this. You're out west in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Someone's bored. Hey, I'll build a new pinball machine.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Just come down to the prairies. We're all bored here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, listen. I can't drink forever, and I don't care how pretty she is. I got to do something else sometime.
That's right. It's okay, because when you're building the pinball machine on the prairies, you could still see her a half-mile away because it's the flat land.
Yeah. Saskatchewan is a nightmare to drive in. Like it's just a nightmare. It's that sudden like it's that point like between Winnipeg and Calgary.
Oh yeah.
You realize that this scenery you're seeing right now, well, more like Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat, it actually starts to get hilly. But until that point, you're like, oh my god, this is going to be the same scenery the whole time.
Yeah.
It hits you about 5 minutes in. Once you're 5 minutes in, you just have that haunting realization of this
This is
isn't
it.
going to change. Oh, like
like
what sort of weird hell have I walked into? So what I
that's
do now
right. Like
I do it at night.
what boring realm is this?
That's it. Like, oh my god. So I do it at night. I'll drive through as fast as I can. Get it over with.
Well, that's the best thing is that you can go a little quicker at because you can see literally everything.
Yeah, like no one tells at that point at night.
There's no hills to block the moon. There's no trees.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. You can see everything in the fields. No animals be creeping.
Oh Jesus, no! It's just like again, there's nothing to break the monotony. So you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to drive through this in the daytime. I just don't. Like,
No.
if I absolutely have to, I will. But if I don't, no, I'm not doing this shit. Fuck that. I'm gonna wait till nightfall. I'm going to burn my way through this. How did you get through the prairies in 5 hours? Magic. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's right. That's all you need to say.
And you know what?
If they know, they know.
I've dealt with some officers in the prairies. They seem to understand.
Yeah. Well, it's better to get through the prairies than be stuck there, right? By like dozing off or something, right?
Well, that's my worst nightmare, right? I'm driving in the prairies, and then I just forget to blink for like 5 minutes, and I'm somehow.
Yeah. Because the environment is just burned into your the horizon is just burned into your eyes.
It does. It literally does. I just had that it's like I can do it's like, oh god. Like again, 5 minutes after you leave Winnipeg, you just know. It's like this isn't gonna change at all.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
And it's terrifying. Like it's absolutely terrifying when you had that thought and then you're like, okay, so what do I do? And then it's like, well, I guess I'm speeding because I don't give a shit.
Time to burn.
Yeah. Because once you get to Medicine Hat, at least you got hills, right?
Then it starts.
Right. It's 2
rolling.
hours. And once you get to Calgary, you're through it. You're kind of going like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then Northern Ontario is beautiful.
Yeah.
But in the middle, oh god. It's like a desert in between.
What? Oh, in Northern Ontario?
Well, Northern Ontario is beautiful. Like you got the Canadian Shield, the forest street. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on around there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of monotony there too, but it's not the same. Like at least the trees are different. The Shield is really cool to drive through. You're turning. It's a little hilly. It's a beautiful trip. It's a long trip, but it's a beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've only been to Toronto. I haven't really.
I'm sorry.
And Niagara. I've been to Niagara as well.
I don't, so is that a good or a bad thing?
Oh, I would like to go back.
I could tell we'd be buddies. I could tell like we were in person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we could party.
Yeah, probably.
We could party.
Probably. No, I'm looking at like so going back. So you taught yourself how to code.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Like was did it come easy? Was that hard?
See, at first I thought it was easy, because I was like just typing, doing my thing, putting the links together, connecting the dots, and then I'd hit that test button and everything fell apart. And I'm like, but why? Why didn't that thing work? Because I put it in correctly, and then it's like, oh no, but the thing that you made or that I made like 10 steps down, that broke the thing at the beginning. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes no sense. So the learning, like I watched some tutorials, part of a great community on Discord that do a lot of like, I would like to say the grunt work that I kind of built off of. So shout out to those guys on the PGMMMV Discord for doing what they like to do, which is the hardcore in the system work, whereas I'm more of like, okay, that's a cool idea. Now I'm going to expand that idea and do all these other things with it.
So it's almost like okay. So when I write a story, I
Yeah.
have a tendency to like. I have a tendency to like. How do I put this? I write a story. I have a tendency to look at the stories that came before, and it sounds to me like from a point of view of coding, language, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's almost like you see a story like or a foundation that you like, and then you're like, okay, what can I put to it that's different?
Exactly. That's exactly how I approached my development process. Because again, like I'm self-learning, uh, plus I'm doing all the art, uh, putting together the planning, like creating all the assets, the tiles, spriting, developing what little story I do have to be as robust as I can make it in such a because I still want that Nintendo quality of a story, where it's kind of jump in and jump out. Uh, Maybe my next project, I'll get some writing ability.
It's all good, man. I mean, it's a process. Like the beautiful thing about video games. This is the thing that I really love about it. I mentioned Double Dragon earlier,
Yeah,
right? Cool thing about Double Dragon is you get the story in like a minute. You see a bunch of
yeah,
punks punching, like literally punching your girlfriend in the face.
yeah,
Not in the face, in the stomach. Take her down.
yeah. That
They
give
carry
her a
her
big,
off.
strong gut punch.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then you're going in there and you're beating all their asses. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to. At first, that was my story. It was just boom, throw you in the game, and then I was like, but a game that I really enjoy, Mega Man 7, has a story. Uh, maybe I'm jumping a little too far, since this is my first project, and Mega Man 7 is it's like the 8th or ninth project in the Mega Man series, and so they could have that story, but I just felt like I needed something to say at the beginning, and then because the rest of the game is just snippets here and there of the deities uh, talking to the main player character, J-Jax. So the deity, you'll go into a world, the deity, for instance, Watra, she's the water deity. She'll be like, "Oh, you're interrupting my spa day. How dare you?" And that's the whole interaction, is just you being in an area and getting talked down to by this goddess.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like games, there's different levels of story, right? Like there's the dialogue and some games require more story than others. Like I said, I told you I love the Tales games.
Yeah,
You need a story. You need a story
yeah.
in the Tales games.
Like
You just,
Tales
you
of
just need a
Symphonia.
major, fast story. But the people think I like about a side scroller, don't get me wrong, a great story definitely helps a side scroller. But the beautiful thing
Yeah.
about them is sometimes the gameplay itself is the story.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm going. Like, there's, yeah, like my story is super minimal, but I I shattered my fingers to create good gameplay. Like, I wanted strong gameplay. So like when you're playing the game, you're kind of it's your story, right? Like you're playing as J-Jax, but it's your story. Like you did this jump, you sliced that slime, you did that cool back roll off the side of that cliff and then shot a fireball at this other enemy. Like you can create your own little action story. So like your gameplay experience could be different from someone else. You could be like if you're talking to someone else that miraculously plays my indie game, uh, you could be like, "Oh, did you use Watra to, how she does her tentacle attack, and you can just slide through the enemies?" And somebody else would be, "No, I used the Danny Drapoon, the Dragoon, and I just jumped on their heads with her spear attack." Like you can you can play the game in so many different ways, but I really had to tighten everything up in order to achieve that.
There's nothing wrong with a minimal story. Like there really isn't. Like I think that's the cool thing about a video game. Like okay, Tetris doesn't really have a story.
Yeah, Tetris doesn't need a story though. It's got
No, it
that
doesn't.
music.
It's got the most hypnotic music of all time.
That's right. Yeah, it just sucks you in.
No, totally no, because that's so. Tetris is an example of simplicity, like to the nth degree that works. Like Minecraft's the same way. Like
yeah, Minecraft I got into
very
too
much
for a
the same
while.
thing. You're building. It's just taking a very constructive thing.
Yeah.
And it's simple, but it sucks people in, and it's great.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't need to be a complicated. It doesn't need to be a complicated, but simplicity in gaming.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend, that is one of the hardest things to master. Like, how can I keep it simple and fun?
That's hard. Yeah. Like, I got through my development process, I did a lot of revisions. A lot of my revisions are in Project 2, which is in pre-planning right now, and then I'm going to start developing it in about a year, or not a year, in about a month. I'm actually going to start work. I got to give myself to cool off. My girlfriend wants my time back.
That's fair. I mean,
I got to give Nermal the cat time.
Hey, listen. You know what? You've earned it. Like you made a game, and honestly, I think that's a really cool thing. I'm actually going to be quietly looking for possibly a video game developer next year myself. I accidentally invented a board game. And I think
no. Not accidentally.
Yeah, you want to hear? I do a book. My book. I'll send you very quietly here, because I am that kind of magical asshole, and I'm such a skilled person and prepared for absolutely everything and shit.
That's awesome. It's really cool that you're a writer. Like I tried being a writer also because of COVID. I was like, I gotta do something with my creative juices. So I started writing. But I just couldn't stick with it.
You know what?
Like writing is super hard on the brain.
It can be, but so can games, man. Games can be really hard too, right? Like,
with the video game, like I got to change what I was doing. Like I could write a little bit of story, but then I could do some art, and then I could figure out some programming, and then I could make this spell do this effect at this time. So I got to jump around a lot because my brain is kind of scattery.
There's nothing wrong. Like, not every medium's for everybody. But like here's the thing, right? So I sent you the private link to the project, right?
Oh, cool! It's on Kindle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the girlfriend's Kindle here, and I can check that out.
Yeah. No. So basically, what? Here's the thing, okay? I'm going to do a world map for this. It's probably an Alice too, just probably because I'm too lazy to do it for the first book. I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But the idea is I have this. So I came up with the idea of doing like a fantasy map because Alice in Wonderland is Greek mythology, pretty fucking cool, right? So put all the famous Grecian places I want to use in the series as a board game, right?
Yeah.
And then I came up with this really weird version of Snakes and Ladders, because the other thing about games, not many people don't realize this. There's a lot of math in games. There's a ton of it.
Yeah.
Right. Even like dice rolls, for example, odds, playing odds, thinking about what's the best creates the best interactive experience. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
So I drew this. I had this map in my head, visualized what Alice in Wonderland's map would look like.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it while I'm listening to you.
It's all good. I hope you dig the concept if nothing else, right? But here's the thing, right? I asked myself how to play. Like, have you ever had one of those moments where you asked the universe, "How do you do this?" and literally the answers just come to you? This was one of those moments, and so I'm doing the Kindle now. But next year, I'm probably going to do a book board game combination. Printing this is Alice 1, and I have Alice 0. Also, again, you look up my author history, you'll find Alice 0 if you want to find it.
Yeah, I see it down there. Yeah, I see it on the links to it.
Yeah, so if you want, again, if you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, that's cool too. But the thing is, I see a board game interaction with this. The debate is: do I go with the traditional board game with this, or do I make a very simple video game for this?
I like this asylum thing you're talking about here on your book.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting to me.
So Alice is Pandora. She opens the box.
Yeah.
And she gets a certain the kingdom of Wonderland scatters across this multiverse.
Yeah.
And inside her head is a certain Cheshire friend. And she wakes up after she opens the box in an asylum where the playing cards are her jailers. That's Alice 0.
Whoa.
Alice 1, my new book.
Okay. Yeah.
She chases the Queen of Hearts. I'm not going to spoil what happens in 0, but suffice it to say she gets out of the asylum. She chases the Queen of Hearts into the Greek underworld.
Yeah, I read that part.
Okay, with Jason the Argonauts.
Yeah, that is. Are you going to have like stop motion skeletons?
Undead Hydras.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think it's really for me, I love the idea that I have a book and a board game fits the thing because Alice is chasing the queen, and that's very much what the board game is about. It's about chasing the queen and stopping her from getting to her goal.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the objective, and it's a snakes and ladders variation. So the difference is, the basic concept is, 7 is the most common thing you can roll on a dice because it hits all 6 numbers on both dice. The odds of you getting a 7 are pretty high. So instead of so again, games are math, right? So
sure.
So when you roll a 7, the snakes and ladders move across the board, and both you and the queen can get sucked into these portals. So you can go to these other worlds and fight these other monsters there. I think it'd be a really cool game.
So it's like a board game that kind of opens up into another board game, like the map gets bigger.
Well, it's more like so the portals are from 1 to 100, right?
Yeah.
So there's a map of each level of the board is a different part of Greece or Wonderland, depending on where she is. Now at space 100 is the Mad Hatter. So the first person to get to the Mad Hatter wins.
Oh, okay.
If she gets there, the queen's a non-player character. If she gets there, she wins, and the world ends. If you get there, you gotta beat the Mad Hatter, and if you beat the Mad Hatter, you win, right?
Okay.
Right? It's a race.
Yeah.
The difference is the queen doesn't have to fight any monster. She's just gonna go her way. And you, if you hit a monster, you have to fight it. And if you lose, you go all the way back to the beginning. But it's not necessarily the game over because the portals move. So let's say there's a portal that's like at the top. And if you roll enough 7s, that portal might come to the bottom, and then you end up going all the way to the top like that. Yeah. Or you could be way ahead, and all of a sudden the portal sucks you in, and you go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
Because that's gonna be
fun?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, this sounds like fun for me. Like, if it was physical.
Yeah. No.
Like,
if it's totally
like a physical board game. Because like the way I'm envisioning what you're telling me is like you have your base template board game of the snakes and ladders thing, and like with these worlds things you're talking about, and to me it sounds like you're opening up the board game and it's getting bigger and bigger. That's like
the thing is, I'm a businessman, and I thought ahead. I thought about expanding the board game, especially as more books come out. As more books come out, absolutely expand the board game so you see more worlds and more places to go.
Yeah.
And as more of the story unfolds, right? I'll let you know a little secret. I have from the final book of the series, the true boss of the series reveals himself.
Yeah.
Right. And so obviously, if I get this board game out, the true boss then would show up in the board game as well.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
would it be so it's not the Mad Hatter?
No.
Whoa.
It's not.
It's like a placebo boss.
It's Mad Hatter because Mad Hatter's neutral. And
okay.
He's neutral. He's not good or bad. He is so the mashup with Mad Hatter is Kronos, the god of time. Because what does the Mad Hatter do but kill time? So
Yeah, yeah.
it makes sense, right? So
We got to get that rabbit in there.
Oh, but
The rabbit that's got the
I'm not giving you.
stopwatch.
I'm not going to give away who the rabbit is. If you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But the rabbit, but I will tell you the rabbit does show up. I'm not going to tell you when the rabbit shows. It doesn't show up in 0 or 1, but I will say before the last series comes to.
Okay, yeah. Don't give me no spoilers, because
No spoilers. No
I'm
spoilers.
probably gonna
No, I'm not going to give you spoilers.
I'm gonna check out this Alice 01 first with the asylum.
Yeah, go right
I just
ahead.
want to see what you do with the craziness, because I'm assuming there must be some craziness if there's an asylum.
There is. There's lots of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you like Carl Jung, dude. I hope you like Carl Jung. So.
I don't even know.
It's all good. It's all good. And by the way,
I guess I gotta research that.
If you hate it, don't tell anybody. Fair?
Oh, yeah, sure.
No, dude, I've enjoyed this. Let's talk about your game a little bit. So is it done? Like, is it finished?
Yeah, it is absolutely finished. I squashed the last bug. Literally, I left work and went home, came home. I squashed the last bug over lunch, so I skipped lunch, squashed it, and sent it out to Vox Pop so they can have it and they can do whatever they need to do for December 1st is the release.
Oh, congrats! So you and me both got the release on the same day.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, oh, Steph, we need to have a little release party.
Yeah, totally. I'd be down. Yeah. Well, no, how about this? Let's talk after the show goes off the air. I actually have a fun idea. If you're up for it, we'll talk about it when it's over.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, but so I'm going to ask this: what was the hardest thing about making your game? Like for you, like what was the hardest part besides all the random bugs you had no fucking clue what was going to happen?
So other than finding bugs that aren't super apparent, I would say sticking to the project. I've invested, I would say, 4,000 plus hours into this project between programming, planning, playtesting, and doing the art. So that I would say just sticking with the project, because there were times when something would happen, I'd be like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
Like I'm not built for this. I can't do this, and I'd persevere, I'd give myself a break. Giving yourself breaks as a solo dev or an indie dev or even a dev in the development of video game worlds, writing too, I'd imagine. If you get to a point where the ideas stop flowing freely and you're really trying to push out an idea, just take a step away, because that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to do that, because there were nights I spent 3 days without sleep trying to make something work in my game, and I eventually got it. But that's 3 days I stayed up because I felt like I needed to. But once a few more months in, I finally realized, like, it's good to step away. It's kind of like making a painting, right? Because I'm more art than programmer. So it's kind of like making a painting where you paint up close, but you have to step away from the painting to see the full beauty of it. Because nobody looks at a painting up close. You look at it from far away.
Well, the thing is, I think here's the thing. You're absolutely right. Like, we're putting something together, and that's never easy. No matter what level, what the final result looks like, it's never easy to put something together. At the same time, like it's never going to be perfect. And I think that's the hardest thing. I think a game dev or a writer or any kind of artist has to kind of come to terms with is, this is the best I can for right now.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, you might look back in a couple of years and cringe at this game. It's possible.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, this is how you learned. You put the time in now, and you made something pretty amazing, man. You should congratulate yourself.
Yeah. Like, I gave myself a lot of restrictions too, because I really wanted that old school 8-bit style. Like I kept trying to advance every piece of art, but then I started realizing like I'm not gonna have that 8-bit style if I make everything nicer. You know, if I'm going to start leaning into 16-bit territory, 24-bit territory, um, like modern arts style territory, uh, I wanted that old retro feel that I grew up with. I'm just putting an adult twist on it.
Sprites, baby. Sprites
Yeah,
all day.
yeah, but I wanted to keep them like minimalistic. I wanted to minimize.
Simply, like honestly, it's not a bad way to start. The real temptations. I can do everything. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
Let's get the basics figured out. Let's get
yeah,
something out there. The next project, let's do more. Like there's always more you can do, but
yeah,
it's always good to like realize that you're starting. Like that's I think that's probably the best thing you did. It's like
yeah,
I recognize like I can't do it all this time, but eventually a little bit more. Like next one, you'll do a
yeah,
little bit more, and
yeah.
the one after, a little bit more.
Yeah, Project 2, which is in pre-planning right now. I was actually just typing up uh the enemy catalog when I got your call. And so I was like I stopped that and joined your call here. But Project 2 is definitely going to be more like if I had to compare, Deity Souls Plus is Mega Man 1 to 7, and Project 2, uh, title forthcoming, is definitely going to be more Mega Man X, X4 type design qualities. That's kind of like my range I want to go for. 'Cause-
Trying to kill the internet. I say like all masters seek what the masters sought to kill the Buddha.
yeah.
You're trying to kill Mega Man X. I totally get it.
Yeah. I just want to. I don't know. I just really liked that gameplay and style, and I'm just putting my own spin on it.
Dude, I think the really cool thing about video games today is there's a niche for everything, and and the one thing about like retro games, like this, I think a lot of people are coming back to this. Like, I get why modern video games have downloadable content, season passes. I get all that. There's a
Yeah.
business aspect to that, but there's something about a complete game experience. Sometimes I just want that. I don't need extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Deity Souls Plus, however you want to pronounce it. Even I don't know what I would pronounce it. Is a full game. There's a boss rush you can unlock. There's in-game achievements. So if you do certain things in the game, you can get hats and accessories that J-Jax can wear. Some of them have positive attributes. Some of them have negative attributes. There's there's things to do in the game. Uh, and yeah, it's one and done. I really don't have like a DLC plan or an expansion pack. I kind of wanted to tell everything in one, just to so I can jump into the next project. And so
Yeah. I mean, suddenly this becomes like a million game downloads bestseller, and then you got to come up with a sequel. You'd be like, well, fuck, right?
yeah.
But
Well, I
I
got a
mean,
sequel.
well, you know, like or something along those lines of game. Like you're gonna
Yeah,
like the cool thing about like again, I think the biggest thing I've learned as a creative is you find your niches and you just embrace them, whatever they are.
yeah,
And dude, if you make great Mega Man-esque games for the rest of your life, I somehow feel while you want to push yourself every now and then, I feel you'd be happy with that.
yeah. Like this is definitely my new go-to happy place is creating Project 2. Like I'm done Deity Souls Plus, which is Project 1. And yeah, like had a hell of a time, both positive and negative. And really, if it does great, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay because I just really want to make Project 2. I've already did all the pre-planning, and it's just something I want to make, and it's a game that I can't play. Like I'm looking the games I'm making are the games I'm looking for. I can't find the gameplay of Deity Souls Plus in its entirety anywhere on the market. And it could be because, as I was referring to at the beginning, the video games they didn't grow up with me. Sure, there's blood and gore, but there's blood and gore in every game. So I'm really pushing that boundary, and my games are 18 plus. They're for adults. There's nudity, there's sexuality, but I'm an adult now, and that's the kind of video game I want to play. But I don't want to play those. Here's a puzzle, unlock the puzzle, see naked girl. That's not, to me. That's not a video game.
I mean, Rockstar Games did that a long time ago, and that got weird. So you don't
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
Wow. And anyone that gets that reference, you're like us. You're old. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. It's one of those things where you just recognize that this is about what you want to be.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess the best marketing advice I ever got about a video game, about any kind of like story, freelancing, whatever it is you're going to do, find your stories, stick to them, have faith in them, and tell them as you see fit. If you can do that, you've done great.
Yeah. Sounds like that's really good advice.
Yeah. Like you're not gonna find everybody that loves your flavor of ice cream. Like whatever.
Oh no.
No, but the people that love that flavor of ice cream will really love your flavor of ice cream. There's 7 billion people in the world.
That's kind of like what. Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, that's kind of like the thing I want. Like, I don't even know if I could handle my game blowing up and being like a glow up, amazing thing that everybody's invested in. I kind of just want like that cult status, you know, like.
Yeah, well, you can't control that, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's completely like I would
that.
be scared if it did go farther than like, you know, like a cult following, because I never really thought any farther than that. Like kind of like a Suda 51, you know, like the No More Heroes brand. Like it's like when No More Heroes first came out on the Switch, I was the only person in my group of friends that knew about it and played it. And I would tell them all about it, and they'd be like, "Wow, that sounds awesome!" But none of them would play it. And now, No More Heroes 3, it's boom, it's just global, you know?
Totally. What it comes down to, what again, it takes time. It's like anything else. It starts as a niche. You just do your thing. One day you'll wake up, and everybody might know you, and that's
scary.
It is. But here's the flip side. I actually put this as my motivation in my Facebook, so I'll put it here. Fear of failure, fear of success is the same fear. It's the fear of change. They're just two sides of the same coin. Fear of failure, I do everything I got and I fuck up. That hurts. It can sting. But you and I both know, slipping on our asses on the ice, we've all done that.
Yeah.
Right? We're used to that.
Well, we're Canadian.
Success can be scarier because you haven't done this very often. But you would consider successful, you haven't done this. Now you got this expectation because you did it. Oh shit, can I do it again?
Yeah.
Right? And that's terrifying a little bit because you're like, you don't honestly know.
Yeah.
Would you like one last piece of advice in case you do become this big multi-millionaire gaming sensation, whatever it is you do?
Hide?
Yes, I know it sounds scary, but just recognize how you got there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment and keep doing what got you there, and don't worry about anything else. Have your girlfriend be your buffer so you don't have to deal with crazy people like myself. It's really fun.
No, I like dealing with the crazy people. as long as they're not at my door, you know.
Yeah, totally.
No, I'd rather people know Deity blank plus minus, because that's kind of my titling moniker. Or I'd rather people know SquarePILLOWGames rather than know me. Like if anything were to happen, like I would rather that kind of happen.
And that's totally fine. Just be very deliberate with how you market it, and it's
right.
But also just accept that, you know what, if you do good things will happen to you, and it's okay to enjoy them. Just remember how you got there. That's my own.
Yeah, exactly. I got there from this podcast.
That's right. I made you rich and famous.
That's right. Oh no, royalties.
But I honestly wish you the best of luck, man. It sounds like you've put a lot of work into this. I get the feeling the second game is going to be less time for you because even though it's more stuff,
Yeah.
part of it, the process probably was being figuring out what the fuck you were doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of screaming and yelling at the wall.
Lots of 4 and 5 letter words, I take it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And some of them were like really stretched out so the neighbors could hear.
It's all good. It's all good. And you're gonna have days like that still in the future. Hopefully a little less, but they're gonna happen from time to time, right? But
Yeah.
But I think the best thing going for you, man, is you've already finished a project once. You know,
Yeah, that like honestly that is really the milestone I wanted was to finish. And whatever happens now is out of my hands. Like I'm actually not even worried about anything else. It sells, it doesn't sell, it's done.
That's good.
I finished it. That's my goal.
And you know what? And that's a huge goal in of itself. So congratulations, my friend, from me to you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think, my friend, we have an interview here. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It just kind of felt like we were just joshing.
We were just bullshitting?
Yeah. No, just joshing.
That's right, totally just joshing. Yeah. This is what I do, man. This is what I do.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. And by the way, thank you. Some of this was insightful. Like I hope like we talked about off the air. Well, I might be using this for other things down the road, but and sure. Also, yeah, but beyond that, dude, thanks for coming on the show. It really meant a lot, and thanks for giving me a glimpse into a different world than what I normally deal with.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was a really good experience.
Yeah.
And you made me feel extremely able to talk, like comfortable with this whole talking interview process, because like when we first were talking like off air and like getting this whole process started, I was like, oh no. Or no, I was actually yeah, no problem. And then the closer it came to the day, I was like, oh no, sweating. Especially after I heard your already previous podcast, I was like, oh man, I can't compete with these guests.
I'll let you know a little secret to this whole show. It's a secret to the whole show. Everybody on the show has been awesome. Whether they acknowledge it or not, they've all chosen. They're all amazing at what they do. You included. All I do is I listen to you. Look, dude, I got the bullshit with you about Mega Man. That's a really like right. That's a really cool thing.
We did some Marvel vs. Capcom in there too.
And Mortal Kombat.
We got some Mortal Kombat, the old arcade days.
Yeah, like the cool, like the shit that we grew up like we had in common because we're both gamers.
That's right.
I don't game as much as I used to, but I do still game.
Yeah.
And you like shit, man. I mean, every person I've interviewed on this show has the audacity to go out there and say, I can make something and do something incredible. And you are no different than any other guest that way, my friend. You did something really, really cool. Honestly, video games still don't get the respect they deserve. They are an amazing art form that honestly, the cool thing, like I said, I think video games win the war for one really simple reason: interaction. It doesn't matter like how much level of storyline it is. There's something for everybody. Like for you, you're a side scroller, and you're a fun side scroller. Like you're not trying to be anything like beyond what you are.
Yeah.
But there's people that love that, right? That is a genre that people really. I know lots of people who grew up with Mega Man that love that shit. Like, it's a great game, and it was a fun, memorable experience. I mean, like, Mega Man was one of the most customizable characters ever made, and you could choose who you fought. You went against some insanely difficult things. The jump in Mega Man 2 still gives me nightmares. Right? I mean, it was this insane game that was so much fun to play.
Yeah.
And there's an audience for that. I like the Tales games. I like JRPGs. Why? Because I like big stories. I love epic kind of journeys. I like
Yeah.
some turn-based stuff. That's who I am as a gamer. I love shit like that. And so there's an audience for me for that. And there's other right, and then there's other people that love blood, guts, and gore zombie survival games. There's other people that
Yeah.
love racing games.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Video games have it for everything, and it's a beautiful. Again, it combines everything. It's text, it's pictures, it's interaction and movement. And the one thing it has over any other genre, any other medium is I can feel like I'm involved in where the game goes. And the best games make you feel like that matters. And if
Yeah.
your game does that, it'll be a good game, no matter what.
I feel like you should have told me this at the beginning of my development process.
It made you feel good though, right? When you heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, right? I mean, you again, you're seeking what the master sought. You made a game, and that's hard to do. And again, I took your advice. I'll look more towards the board game. I was thinking more towards the board game anyway, but
Yeah.
but the video game thing does have its appeal, and I think you can understand why I said that,
Yeah.
right? Right?
I just because you kept saying board game, and me and the missus, we play board games. That's kind of our time to do
What's
things.
your board game of choice? I'll tell you mine.
What we've been playing Pictionary, art, and we want to kind of start branching out because we talk about all the old board games we play, like Trouble and Connect Four and everything, and we play some paper pen style board games like SOS, Tic Tac Toe. But we want to start kind of branching out and finding more things to do. And so when you're talking to me and you kept saying board game, instantly my brain went to putting that board on the table, people around it in physical distance with pieces and rolling the dice like you said. You hammered that dice roll and the odds into my head.
but,
So
but again, the mechanic makes sense, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the way you were talking about like how the portals and everything's interchanging. I can see how that can be like digitized and really easy to follow digitally, but like there's like I don't know if you remember like the really old board games, like some of them you could open up into like more board game, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
and so right away that's what my mind was thinking with your game. Is like you go into a portal and now you open up a side panel, a physical side panel, and you're in a new part of the board, and like that's intense. Like that's a board game. Like that's a modern board game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Totally.
Like
So I'll give you some good games to recommend for you and the missus since
yeah,
I've
for
already
sure.
mentioned out yet. Right. Is it just you two, or you guys play with a group?
But it's just me and her and the cat, normal.
Do you
But the
guys like
cat,
playing against? Do you guys like playing against each other? Or do you like cooperating?
we we can do both.
Okay, so the game I really love, the game I really love is Dice Throne. You're fighting each other, so it's using dice to combat. It's a fun little game.
So is it like war? We're
You each choose a characters. You each
yeah,
choose characters. You each have a board,
yeah,
and your characters have special abilities, and you're trying to roll for certain things. And if you get certain things, you get to spend the points you accrue with the dice to add abilities, attack, and smash each other. It's a little complicated. It sounds more complicated than it actually is when I'm talking about it. But if you
yeah.
like something like that's really like that. I like elegant games myself, but I like one of my favorite games is Suro. And the problem with Suro is at two people, it's good, but it's better with five people. Like that game's insane with five people. They're quick games too, but they're so good. They're so good.
You, I'm gonna have to get some spelling on these so I can like find them
I'll,
when I go into the city.
I'll do some when we talk off air. I'll send you some stuff on Discord. You can
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. like I said, it depends how competitive you two are. Like, if you guys are just looking for a casual good time, I'll pick games that are just more for casual good time. But yeah, they're like, again, same thing. Board games have an interactive component that people really dig,
Yeah,
and that's why games are so cool. Games, the language of games is interaction, and
yeah,
that's why they always need to play.
yeah. Well, like she played my game. She played Deity Souls Plus, but then she got mad at it, and so I was like, well, I don't want her to get mad at my game. Let's play a board game, and you can get mad at me.
That's awesome. The missus does sound like an incredible lady. I mean, she does sound like she was willing to support you playing the games. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So to Mrs. Square Pillow Games, I believe you. Uh,
She'll probably maybe hear this later.
she might like it'll come out as an audio in about a couple weeks. So I mean,
Cool.
right in time. So right in time for like we'll talk about the air. We'll see what you want to do.
Well,
But
we'll go for a drive, and I'll just put this on in the car.
it should be like, who's this asshole interviewing me?
Yeah. Hey, she might, but hey, no hard feelings.
I know that's okay. I'm an open asshole. It's all good. It's all good. Dude, you're pretty sweet. My mutually Canadian friend in the way up north. I sincerely wish you the best of luck with your game. So what you need to do is you need to tell me what's your game, where
My
people can
game?
find it, and how
Mhm.
people can find you.
All right, so it's Deity Souls Plus. You can find it on Vox Pop Games. It's available for wishlist right now. December 1st is the release day, first day out. Hope you enjoy it. It's for adults only, so if you're a younger listener, don't play it because there's some graphic things there that I don't know if you can look at.
You do realize you just encourage every younger like
Shh,
we
don't
didn't
tell them.
listen to
That
that
was my
shit. Why would anybody
secret.
listen to that today?
That was my secret. Don't tell them. Yeah, it's right.
I'm sorry.
Shh.
I'll be the pretty
Hush,
one after that.
hush. Uh, it's a what's that terminal? It's a Metroidvania type, but with Mega Man esque combat and like a stage layout. Mega Man style boss fights. You know, you gotta figure out the pattern, things like that. Uh, there's a lot of interesting cutscenes that happen in game that I call seduction states. I'm gonna copyright that. And yeah, I just hope you get some kind of emotion out of it. Either you like the gameplay, either you hate the story, you hate the art, you like the deities, whatever. Just check it out if you got the time. It's on Vox Pop Games.
So real quick, how long's the game time on average?
I did a full playthrough from start all the way to the last musical note of the credits, and it was over 10 hours.
So you get a solid 10, 12 hour experience, ladies.
Yeah, and I know where everything is. Like,
So let's assume 10 to 15 hours. That's a reasonable time for this game.
yeah, I'd say like if you're really good at like a side scroller platformer with action elements, you might get through it quicker. And depending how much you level up your character, how many sub weapons you find, if you find the spells, if you use the deities more often than not, like, there's a lot of different elements that'll change the time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, dude, I wish you the best of luck. Is there a place people can find you personally or your brand, Square Pillow Games?
Yeah, you can find Square Pillow Games on Twitter at Pillow Square. That's a capital PILLOW and then a capital SQUARE. And I'm on Twitter. There's lots of teaser images on there with some of my YouTube trailers. The first few are really early me figuring out YouTube and how to make a video. And my last one is pretty decent. I think it's about a 98% build playthrough of the first Waterworld 1-1 area.
Fair enough. So it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm actually trying to find you on Twitter right now.
I should be there.
Yeah,
It's like SquarePILLOWGames. So like my Twitter, the @ thing was @PillowSquare, but the name of my company is SquarePILLOWGames. I don't know, Twitter things, I guess. So if you put,
I just tried to search you up in the in Twitter proper here, and that got disturbing very quickly.
oh really? I wonder what's on there.
I got pillow humping, dude. I got.
Oh wow!
When I typed in the algorithm for it, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna.
That's pretty good because I was gonna do like a Kickstarter maybe.
Oh, wow.
You know, try and do that, and get like body pillows of the deities.
Yeah, no, I just like.
No, it's SquarePILLOWGames, like lowercase square, capitals pillow, lowercase games. If you search it into Google, you could put that, or if to find it on Twitter, I think it's that symbol, capital PILLO, no W, and then capital SQ, like lowercase QUARE. I think that's what it is.
There we go. Oh, I think it's something there. Ooh, boom, boom, boom. All right. So this was SquarePILLOWGames, and we talked all kinds of shit. It was fun.
Yeah.
And his game comes out December 1st. By the time if you are listening to this, so watching this, it will be out now. The link for how to purchase the game will be in the description below. As for me, if you want to support me, right, you can find my book right here on second here, ladies and gentlemen. That's my book. Definitely go check it out. Right? Definitely go check that out. Go hit the order button, and on Twitch, just.tv/JustJoshingPodcast. Hit the button there if you want to follow, subscribe. I'm on YouTube as Joshua Pantellaresco. Like, follow, subscribe, enable notifications there. Stay inspired, keep shining in the dark. I got 2 really cool guests left, but they don't come on until Friday, Saturday. For everybody, my American friends, happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys Friday. For everybody else, stay out of trouble. Don't get caught. Whatever you subscribe to, I'll see you Friday.